In this presentation, I'm going to walk you through how to submit a requisition. One of the first things you need to be aware of is that we really now have essentially two employee suites. One, called the employee suite, is just for standard things, mainly for faculty and staff. And then we also have what this one is. It's called the administrative suite. This is more for administrative functions and staff functions and approvals. One of the ways you can determine if you're in the right place is you'll see the menu items will say things like business services, student services. You'll see admissions, budget center processing. So for the purposes of requisitions, we will find that under budget center processing. The next thing I want to bring to your attention is that you'll see these little chevrons to the right. This will expand the menu, as you can see here. So let's go ahead, as I just did, click on budget center processing. You'll see two areas, inquiry and requisitions. So for inquiry, you can watch the video on this, but you really can self-teach yourself how to view an inquiry on a budget. That's really pretty simple. For requisitions, let's go ahead and click the chevron. It will expose three menu items: submit requisitions, requisition attachments, and requisition approvals. For approvals, please watch another video on that particular topic. But for today, let's go over submit requisitions. So I'm going to go ahead and click submit requisitions. And it'll take you to sort of a preview pending entry and pending changes. These are the current requisitions that are pending in my box. If I want to look at the denied or completed requisitions, I can just simply change here to denied and completed, and it will show the status of denied and completed requisitions. Let me go back to pending. To do a new requisition is pretty simple. Just go over here and you're going to see add record. So that's step one. Click on add record. And it'll pop up this window which you're going to look at and say, you know, this looks very familiar. Here's the good news. The process for submitting requisitions really hasn't changed. Just a few things are different. But the steps, how we are used to creating a requisition pretty much has stayed the same. So starting from the top, you're going to work your way down, right? And the first area where you see this blank is the budget center. So I wish they had a little white box here, but that's okay. Just remember, wherever you see a line, like budget center or vendor code, you need to fill in the gap. The line indicates there's something under it. You can actually go into it. So let's go ahead and click budget center. Once you do, it'll pull up all of the budgets that you have access to. You'll notice that there's a next at the top and a next at the bottom to advance the page. I'm going to go ahead and advance until I find the actual budget that I would like to use for my requisition. So there it is. I select it and fills it in nicely. Select your campus. Again, very similar to what we used to do. Select your ship location, again, like you used to. Now, vendor code. Let's talk about this. One thing I want to stress is that, remember, we're under administrative services, which means we're in the AS400 system, which means this system is case sensitive. So make sure you put your cap lock on and type in your vendor. Okay? Go ahead and click vendor code. And if it says no previous found, okay, don't get alarmed. I'll show you a way around that. Click continue. Vendor has been inactivated. Hit vendor code again, and there you go. So just little tricks to show you how to work the system a little bit better. So just play around with it again. All I did was, when I got that little error message, I knew it was incorrect. I hit continue, and vendor has been inactivated popped up. I hit vendor code again, and it was there. So you may have to play around with it sometimes. A lot of times you'll get that message if you're using lowercase, okay? Or sometimes if you use lowercase, all the vendors will pop up. If that happens, just go back, make sure you're using all caps, click continue, and then vendor code again, and it should populate for you. Once you've done that, go ahead and click continue. So you will see a very familiar page as you see here, and we're going to do the normal processing. So if you're new, I'm still going to kind of go over the steps. The first thing that you need to do is put your attachment. As you know, all requisitions have to have the attachment of what you're ordering. So I'm going to show you those steps. This has changed slightly, but the location is exactly the same. So click on attachment, as you see here. The difference is that you're going to click add record first, okay? So go ahead and click add record, and that's going to bring up the browse screen, as you see here. So click on browse, find your order, attach it as normal like you would do email, and select add. And what that does, it'll bring you to the requisition attachment screen. That's a little bit different. And so you can check the on the attachment correctly. You can delete it if it's the wrong one. Okay. After that, once you've cleared it, just go ahead and click cancel, and that's going to take you right back, and you'll see that it's attached. So even though you canceled it, you really didn't. You're just taking yourself back to the submit requisition page. Okay. Then follow your normal process, what you're ordering. So whatever it is that you're ordering, type in the information. Okay, so let's say you're ordering a monitor, whatever it is. Then of course, the same as usual, select your budget where you're ordering it from. I'm going to pick one. I have to pick one that actually has some money in it. Let's take a look here. All right. So don't follow me, you know, materials and supplies. That's fine. I think it does actually fit under that. And so the quantity, put your quantity in. The price, of course. All right, I'll just scroll over so you can see a little bit better. And there's your total. And so I'm going to go ahead and now, again, this is a fake one. So normally what you would do at this point is to submit your requisition. I'm just going to go ahead and save and exit only because it's not real, okay? But normally for you to finish this, you're going to hit submit requisition. For those of you, again, who are new to the process, and by the way, you can see my order. It's right here. It's good to go. It's pending. I can always go in there and upgrade it and send it out again, right? For those of you who are new, one of the tricks when you're doing requisitions is to make sure you save as you continuously go, especially if you have to continue to put information in, you know, more information you have in. You don't want to get timed out. So as you're working on building your requisition, you have more than one item that you are actually ordering, go ahead and save continuously. Well, that's it. That's how you submit requisitions. As I said, it's not very different, but it does require you to do a little bit of practice so you can get used to the new platform. If you have any questions, please contact CTEL at ctel@lawsonstate.edu. That's CTEL@lawsonstate.edu. And let me remind you that Title III sponsors CTEL.